Hello, dealers. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. My name is Haley Holland, and I am the Marketing Programs Manager here at ARI. Today, my co-host and I will be covering the inner workings of DealerPic360, our mobile app that enables you to take high-quality 360 spin images inside and outside of your vehicle. Before we jump into the webinar, I just want to point out the control panel you should be able to see there on the right side of your screen. You can minimize or expand this at any time by clicking on the orange arrow button in the corner. We have set aside some time at the end of the presentation for questions, so please use that question section in your control panel. I also wanted to let you know that we are recording this, so following the webinar, you can view this presentation with your team on our YouTube channel. So here's what we're talking about today. We'll look at why real unit images work and matter in the long run for your business. We're going to cover specific features of the app that you may or may not have used yet, and how these features will benefit you and reduce your inventory's time to sale. We'll wrap things up with a quick, short Q&A and get you on your way to taking high-quality 360 spins of your unit. So again, my name is Haley Holland. I am the Marketing Programs Manager here at ARI. My co-host today is James Hill, Product Manager with ARI. James, wonderful to be here with you today.
Hey everyone. Hey Haley. Great to be here today. Thanks for the introduction. I'm grateful and excited for the opportunity to talk about DealerPic360 and recording 360 spins with all of you.
James, wonderful to have you. I think I'd like to kick things off today by quickly sharing why real images perform better than stock images. Now, I know we've mentioned in other educational sessions that real on-the-lot images are superior to stock images. But in case you haven't seen those numbers before, they really are impressive and they speak for themselves. The ARI team looked at a few studies done over the last couple of years, and those studies concluded that when a dealer takes their own photos of their units, on the lot units, they see increased page views, some as high as 349%. Another study found that most shoppers, almost 75%, will choose a site over another with higher quality images over grainy images. That same study showed that roughly a third of those surveyed purchased vehicles from dealerships with clear, high-quality images. I know that's a lot of stats being thrown at you, but the key takeaway from this statement is that multiple studies we've evaluated show that impressive digital showrooms lead to more website engagement, which then leads to a higher number of leads and ultimately yielding you a much higher ROI. Bottom line, real images are key, but don't neglect their quality, which is where our app, DealerPic360, comes into play. So James, why don't you give us a quick rundown of the app?
Absolutely. And we've all probably tried a few options for taking great pictures and videos, or even attempted walk-around videos of our unit inventory in the past, finding that some of those tools were easy to use, others maybe not so great, with predictable or unpredictable results also usually falling in the not so great range. DealerPic360 offers a guided photography process to help change that, with large, bright visual indicators right on screen to help you keep the unit centered in your recording. And as part of processing the recording, DealerPic360 uses built-in encoding to streamline the rotation of the video and stabilize the bumps and waves as you move around the vehicle. It also features a streamlined inventory connection to your website that is updated hourly. So no need to worry about time spent entering duplicate inventory data. All the unit inventory that you've added to your website is automatically synchronized over to DealerPic360. After you've recorded spins on your inventory, DealerPic360 also helps you hotspot highlighted features that are available from the manufacturer, or they might be added aftermarket customizations. And lastly, once everything is posted to your website, DealerPic360 spins and its images are optimized to display on your website's vehicle detail pages on all devices, giving consumers the freedom to browse high-quality showroom spins on their phone or at home at their convenience. And all of these key features combine to make DealerPic360 one of the easiest tools to get started using to improve your vehicle listings today.
Yeah, this app really does cover all the bases. Let's jump into commonly made mistakes, things to avoid, and just some general tips to guarantee just spectacular results. James, a couple questions for you. Which devices can actually download this app, and are there any special pieces of equipment a dealer would need to purchase to take 360 walk around?
Absolutely. The DealerPic360 app works great for taking exterior vehicle spins using nothing more than your modern smartphone. Apple devices starting with the iPhone 6s and newer running iOS 12 or later will all support DealerPic360, as well as the Android devices you see listed here running Android 8.0 or later. And for any of you interested in recording an interior 360 spin, perhaps inside of a recreational vehicle, a trailer, or a boat with a fancy cabin, the DealerPic360 requires a separate specialized camera to help you do that. These models are the Ricoh Theta SC2 and Ricoh Theta 5, available for purchase directly from Ricoh Theta or elsewhere online.
Great. Now, James, I know a lot of our dealers have used their phones just to record an actual video of their unit while they're actually walking around the vehicle. But sometimes that comes out quite shaky and a bit fuzzy. Does this app help with that?
Absolutely, it does. And it eliminates the need to upload that recorded video to a place like YouTube just so you have a link to add to your website later. We mentioned guided photography briefly before, but now we see it on the screen here. If you keep the unit within the large green parentheses, you'll see those indicators turn yellow or red to warn you when the app senses the imagery might get blurry. So try to keep your phone at a consistent height by holding it with both hands. Keep your upper arms relaxed and close to your torso, and try starting around chest height and adjust from there until you find what works and what's comfortable for you. DealerPic360 will tell you which way to move. So think ahead to plan your arc and keep your left shoulder toward the unit as you move and walk steadily and naturally until you've completed a full circle around the unit. Haley, I think on the next slide, we might have a few more tips as well.
Absolutely.
Great. I know it sounds a little elementary, but if you haven't had a chance to use the app yet, DealerPic360 helps you take a completely full spin walk around video. So you'll need to have access to a full circle around the vehicle. And on screen, you'll see exactly how many degrees you've traveled as you record. To make things dead simple, you could drop a coin or a small object on the ground where you started. So as you come around the unit full circle, you'll have something to aim for. And a pro tip, in the most recent versions of the DealerPic360 app, the app knows once you've recorded a full 360 degrees and automatically stops recording to make things even easier. Just walk in a circle until it stops. Haley, how about you take over some of the best practices for recording images next?
Happy to. We now know that the app won't stop until you take the full 360 walk around. So let's look at how to capture the full image. If you have been using the app and find that you only get a partial image, it could be due to either rushing the process or being too close to the unit. Best practice will always be to keep the unit in frame. Again, using the green parentheses as your guide will ensure the image is captured correctly. If the image does get clipped, unfortunately, you will have to start over. And if you are experiencing issues with units being out of frame, try increasing the distance between you and the unit. Take a big step back or a couple. Another best practice is to keep about 5 to 8 feet between you and the front of the vehicle, and then about 10 to 14 feet when shooting the side of the vehicle. Now, the distance between you and the vehicle will greatly differ depending on the overall size of the unit. But lastly, if you're not super familiar with taking 360s, not a problem. We definitely suggest taking lots of practice shots till you find your rhythm and what works best for you. James, while we're on the topic of taking images of units, why don't you take us through some of the features of the app, like my personal favorite, Hotspots?
Sure thing. Hotspots are one of the features that set DealerPic360 apart. And interestingly, it's one of the features that helps you set units apart from others on the lot. So DealerPic360 allows you to pinpoint important elements inside your spin, or what you would call the sellable features of some of these units. For example, if you're listing a motorcycle and you've added a carbon fiber heat shield, exactly like the example that we're seeing on screen. Hotspots like this help you grab your customer's attention and bring that attention to the things most exciting about each unit.
Yeah, that's going to be very useful for dealers when they're listing their inventory, especially, as you said, if there are key elements on the units that stand out from others and make it truly sellable. James, what about specific angles? Will a dealer need to take those themselves individually?
That's also a great question, and the answer is no. So while you're recording your 360 spin, it would be a waste of time to have to go back and revisit to take angled images so that customers get static imagery from some of the key angles of the unit. So part of DealerPic360's proprietary recording is it actually captures angled images at 0, 45, 90, and 135 as you're recording the spin, and automatically supplements the spin displayed on your dealer website with those angled images just for you.
Awesome. And for interior images, because yes, the app will also take interior 360s. Let's look at the next slide.
All right. So if you've got a bigger unit, such as a RV or a boat that has a cabin, or even just something, where passengers ride in, and you want to capture those trim features on an interior 360 spin, DealerPic360 does enable you to capture interior walkarounds. Now, as mentioned earlier, you'll need the Ricoh Theta camera to do this, as the lens on your phone is generally too wide to capture small, tight angles, which you'd need to capture an interior 360. It's also helpful to have a tripod or a monopod available to help position your Ricoh Theta camera. To do so with the app, simply go to selecting the unit that you'd like to record the interior spin for, and instead of choosing exterior spin, choose interior once you've connected your Ricoh Theta.
Fantastic. So now that we've looked at how to take exterior and interior 360s, let's quickly go through how to add those to your unit. Look at the next slide. James, do you want to take us through that?
Yep. So I mentioned earlier that many of us who've tried this before have realized that after recording a video on our phones, how do we get that on our websites? DealerPic360 makes that easy. No more running to YouTube or managing your YouTube channel to host videos for each unit on your lot. DealerPic360 will automatically upload recorded spins to your dealer website within an hour. So when finished recording your spins, simply push the next button in the upper right corner as seen on screen, which will add your recorded spins to the DealerPic360 upload queue. If you ever need to check on the status of an upload, you can navigate to the upload queue using the menu inside the app, and it'll show you a status of any pending uploads. But as mentioned, generally those will be uploaded within an hour directly to your dealership website. To save even more
Yeah.
time, DealerPic360 enables you to reuse spins that you've captured before. So let's say you take in a new unit in stock that's a duplicate or identical to other units that you've sold previously. Instead of having to re-record the exterior and interior spins and the hot spots that you've recorded before, DealerPic360 allows you to choose from a library of those assets that you've used previously and assign them to new units, saving you time. So if you've got multiple units with identical specifications and you want to show those units off, you only need to record that spin once.
And that's all you really need to do. Right? You said it approximately about an hour or less. These images feed over to your ARI website, and you should see them live on your inventory listings. And I am definitely a fan of reusing and reducing time spent taking photos. I personally love the ability to do a one-to-many approach when it comes to listings. I do want to share a few words from dealers just like you who have been using the app, and just give you a chance to see their overall experience they've been getting out of this new product. We surveyed quite a few dealers, dozens of dealers who have recently purchased the DealerPic360 app and found that the app was fairly easy to take images with, easy to toggle between locations, and most commented that they had inventory move quicker than identical units without spins on the listings. In fact, of those surveyed, we saw an average reduced time to sale by about 13 days when they added 360 spins to their listings.
That's awesome, Haley. Cutting 13 days off time on the sales lot can make a big difference. And we've even seen dealers reduce that time on lot to as much as 50% compared to other pieces of inventory without 360 spins on them. So it just goes to show you that shoppers today are really looking for that premium virtual showroom experience when they're shopping dealer websites.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our presentation today. I'd like to wrap it up before opening for questions with just a quick recap of what we've covered. So we went through why high quality images of your units for sale are key and are proven to perform better than listings with stock images only. We discussed how to take a 360 using the guided process. Remember to stay inside of the green parentheses and you should be A-okay. We shared with you some fellow customer testaments of just how easy the tool is to use and how quickly inventory left the lot. Lastly, and just to reiterate this, practice, practice, practice. If this is new territory for you, we get it. This application is really built for everyday folks like yourselves. And you do not need to be a professional photographer to take high quality 360 walkarounds of your units. And with that, I'd like to open it up for questions. If you need to, you can expand or maximize your control panel by clicking on the orange arrow in the top part of your screen. Just open up the questions section within your control panel. Okay, James, let's take our first question. Patricia is asking, can I download this app on multiple team members' phones with one single login? I'd really like my sales team to be able to take 360 walkarounds while walking around on the lot.
That sounds great. And the answer is yes, you can download this app on any number of your team members' devices. There's no limit to the number of devices you can install DealerPic360 on with a DealerPic360 subscription.
Fantastic. All right, I've got another dealer, Dave. He's asking, can you please remind us how to add the same images to multiple units? Just need one more walkthrough.
No problem. This is a big time saver, so it's important to cover. If you've got multiple units that share the same specifications or are identical in stock, you can reuse the same spin you've recorded for one of those units on all of the others. So it's as simple as choosing the units from the inventory list in DealerPic360, and instead of going to record a new exterior spin or interior spin, you choose to use one from the DealerPic360 library, which will show you a list of all of your pre-recorded spin assets and allow you to assign those spins to the unit inventory that matches the spin you recorded. Very easy to do and a huge time saver for anybody with duplicate inventory.
Absolutely. Let's see. Another dealer is saying, I haven't started using the app just yet because it feels like I don't have the time. Does it take a long time to take 360s with the app?
Absolutely not. Given enough space to record the spin, you can take a perfect 360 using DealerPic360 in less than 3 minutes. And as we mentioned, if you've got multiple identical units, say 30 Kawasaki Ninja 750s, all monster green, you want to show them all off using the same spin, you could apply that same 360 spin to all 30 units in your inventory.
Yeah, good example. Definitely worked with quite a few dealers who have had the same issue, the same question, and found, like James said, they have the same identical unit 30 times over. They use the same spin, saves them a lot of time. Alrighty, let's take one last question. Let's see, Chris, dealer named Chris is saying, how can I get extra help with my app? Just need hands-on training once more. James, I can take that if you want.
Go for it.
Chris, it's super easy. You can reach out to your ARI account manager, or you can email cs@arinet.com and simply request a walkthrough. One of our talented support team members can assist you with that. Well, dealers, that brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for taking time today. James and I hope you found this helpful and useful. If we missed your question, we apologize, but rest assured we will be reaching out to you following this presentation. James, I just want to say thank you for being a fantastic co-host. I really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for having me. And dealers, always a pleasure to speak with you all. Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day all.